right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello, my name is Margie Remmers-Davis, and welcome to the weekly live stream. We're calling it Locker Room Live because it is the live stream inside of our free Facebook group called the QBO Gym Locker Room. So the reason we call it that, by the way, we haven't talked about it in a while, and somebody might wonder, like, why do we call it that? Why do we call it the locker room? Because it's where you go after you exercise. Wah, wah, wah. See, I told you I'm a nerd. Okay. So we are all about, in this Facebook group, we are all about hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. That's all we do. All day long, every day, we practice using QuickBooks Online. And as a member of this free Facebook group, you get a free QBO QuickStart course. Now, when you joined, I forgot to ask who is here for the first time today. Cheryl, first time. Deborah, first time. Carrion? Is that right? Is that how you pronounce it? Carrion? Oh, maybe it's Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann? It's hard for me to see. Carrie Ann. Mary, really? This is your first time? I feel like I've seen you before. Hosty. Whoa, so many new faces. That's awesome. All righty. So, oh yes, like Carrie Ann. Okay, excellent. Well, we are happy to have you here. And for those of you who are new, those names that I just listed, when you joined the locker room, we sent you your free QBO Quick Start course. I know some people come to us, they already have a ton of experience and they just want a little bit more. Some people have been using desktop for years and just need to learn QBO. Some people are brand new to the entire concept of bookkeeping is brand new. So wherever you are in your journey, whoever you are, we gave you a free QBO Quick Start course. And that QBO Quick Start course was emailed to you. So if you did not get it, if you did not get the email that says, welcome to the locker room, and here's how you get your stuff, and here's how you get your free course, please email us at support@akadian.com, AKADIAN. And we will get you sorted. A lot of times, like, people put in, like, they type their email address wrong, or they they type their email address wrong, or we're going to spam. That's pretty common. So anyway, that's all about emails. You get your free Quick Start course. And you also have access to over 100 free exercises. Those exercises, people always wonder where they are. Well, first of all, we emailed them to you, so check your email. But also you'll find them in the featured section here. So there's a featured tab. I'm still screen sharing, right? Okay. There's a featured tab right here you can go to, or there's a tile right here. And you'll notice it says, welcome to the locker room. Over 100 free hands-on exercises. That's where you get, there's a link inside. That's where you get the exercises so that you can practice on your own. And then also, by being a part of the locker room, you get a free exercise of the week. And that's what we go over together on our live stream, which is Fridays at 11 a.m. Okay. All right, so the free exercise of the week is part of our subscription product called the QBO Gym. Okay, so this is this free group, everything I've talked about, free. Okay, lots of stuff for you to do, absolutely free. If you want to step it up a little bit, then you can subscribe to the QBO Gym. The free group is the locker room. That's where we hang out. The QBO Gym is simulated experience actually being a bookkeeper. So if you have ever said to yourself, man, I wish that I could be an intern somewhere, or I wish that I could just shadow somebody to see, like, what is it like to actually be a bookkeeper? Or if you're frustrated because You can't get a job without experience, and you can't get experience without a job. Okay. If those are the things that are going through your head, then, um, uh, then sorry, I just got distracted by, uh, Lindsay Roberts saying she did not get my email this morning. All right. Oh, but Kimberly, you did. Okay, good. All right. So it did go out okay under the new email address. Anyway, I digress. The QBO Gym subscription product, it gives you an opportunity to get a feel for what um, it's like to be a bookkeeper. It's like Joel always says, it's a flight simulator. Joel's my husband, for those of you who are new. He's like a flight simulator for bookkeeping. Okay, so Joel will put the link to the gym so you can learn more about it. You can also, a lot of people come to us by doing the free gym challenge. The regular gym is an entire year's worth of experience. So you get to be a bookkeeper for a fictitious business owner for an entire year. And during that year, all sorts of things happen to Craig, that you then have to record. So, I mean, it covers just about there's just about everything that you can think of that could happen to Craig happens to him, and you have to figure out how to record it. So, at the end of the year, it takes about 42 real-time hours to get through a year's worth of content, which is about normal. It's about 3 to 4 hours per week. I'm sorry, 3 to 4 hours per month. So, that's pretty common for a light contract or a light client, I guess is what I'm saying. So, all right. So Joel has put in the link to the 5-day free trial so you can try it out. The QBO Gym is linked to our proprietary dashboard. Everybody gets Booksmatch, okay? So this is a confusing thing for some people. Everybody gets Booksmatch. Booksmatch is how you link to your courses. But if you are subscribed to the gym, then you also get this part of Booksmatch is unlocked. So you can actually see what skills you're learning as you go through the gym, and how you compare to everybody else. So you can see group comparison. Let me see. Barry was our winner last week. Let me just refresh the screen to see what happens. And then what we can do is you can open up your profile to the world so that recruiters and people who are looking for bookkeepers can find you in what we call the talent finder. So Karen is our winner today. All righty. So Karen has verified 499 skills. So this is so we measure in our dashboard, we measure three key metrics. The first is the total number of skills verified. So how many all time, as long as Karen has been in the gym, how many skills has she confirmed and learned and all that stuff. So 499, but we don't want to disfavor. I don't know, I say this every week. I don't know why I can't say it today. We don't want to disfavor the people who are new. Like if you're new, it's going to take you a long time to catch up to Karen. And so we want you to rank just as high. So we have this other metric called speed. Speed is not how quickly you get through a specific exercise, but it is how many exercises you do in a week. And it's not individual exercises, because some exercises have multiple skills. So it's the number of skills that you verify in a given week. And so that the two of them balance out, because somebody who's been around for a while might not be working fast, and somebody might be working fast but not have a lot of skills yet. Okay, so that is the speed. But then the most important metric is actually your consistency. We built this with a recruiter, And she said that her biggest frustration was reaching out to people who were no longer looking, okay, who were no longer open to work. And she actually wanted us to create a little check mark so that every week you would have to go in and say, yes, I'm still looking. Yes, I'm still looking. Yes, I'm still looking. We thought that every week was a little excessive. And we said, well, why have them just do a check mark? Why not have them make them do an exercise? So that's why we track your consistency. You have to have done at least one exercise or gained one skill every 14 days in order for your Booksmatch profile to, well, I mean, I don't want to say remain active, but to be well ranked. Okay. So in order to have high consistency, you have to gain a skill, at least one skill every 2 weeks, so that and then all of these combined create your rank. And so Karen happens to be number one today. Okay. So in order to have something to do for consistency, because some of you have been in the gym forever and you've run out of stuff to do. And so even though we do have 2 full years in the gym, I only talked about the first one, but we do have 2 full years in the gym of experience that you can get, of simulated experience being a bookkeeper. But then after that, we have to keep adding to it so that you can keep maintaining your consistency. And so that's why we have our exercise of the week. But the benefit is that you guys who maybe are just here, who are brand new, who don't have the gym, you guys get an exercise. It's like a bonus. It's a win for everybody. All right, so the exercise of the week is a separate course. So those of you who do have the gym, it's a separate course in your dashboard, and it's only unlocked after you have gained 250 points. So the 250 points are not the same as the skills that you see in Booksmatch, but they are related to the course itself. So the course itself is gamified. It's all like fun bells and whistles and woohoos and ka-chings and people. We had one student who said it's like I'm at a casino winning all the time. So anyway, you do your stuff and you rack up points, and you can always check to see how many points you have accumulated by clicking this little arrow down at the bottom. And then so this fake person that I'm in has 105, and so once you get to 250, then the exercise of the week is unlocked for you. All right. So, but you don't have to have it, because by being on the live stream, you get the exercise for free. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Today, we are talking about delayed charges. Now, this is a level 2 topic. I mentioned that we rotate themes every week. Now we're at the end of the month, so we're more advanced. And then next week we'll start over more basics. Okay. So I said end of the week, I meant end of the month, right? So we're at the end of the month, so we're more advanced. We'll start over with the basics next week. So this is a thing that is required. This is a topic that you have to know if you are studying for the Pro Advisor Level 2 exam, okay? And it's delayed charges. The reason that I brought this up, the reason I picked this today is because somebody, and I'm sorry, I don't know who it was, somebody posted in the locker room that they had gone through the month in the gym. So I mentioned that let me just go back to the gym for a second. So in the gym, it's all like this gym theme, and it's all related to exercising, right? That's the whole point. It's silly, but that's the way it is. So, each month it's divided up into warm-ups, cardio, strength training, and cool down. Okay, so the warm-ups are all of the things that you do when you very first sit down to work on Craig's books. So you're going to process bank feeds. You're going to check to see what money has come in, what money has gone out since you were last there. Then you're going to do then in the cardio section, you're going to do all of the things that Craig has asked you to do. So Craig may ask you to send invoices or send reminders, pay bills, okay, that kind of stuff. And then in strength training, every month, the strength training is where you get a deep dive in a particular feature of QBO, but it's all in a scenario of like what's happening to Craig's business. So, anyway, so in February, it's all about estimates and purchase orders. In March, it's all about projects. In April, it's about billable charges, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And then in May, it's about journal entries. So you can see how it's it's like a focus area, but it's all scenario based. So it's all like this is what's happening to Craig, and then these are the QBO features that you're going to use to record whatever is happening. And then cool down is just like what the stuff that you do at the end. So you reconcile the bank accounts, you run reports, and it's all the reports are often related to whatever was happening. All right. So the reason I bring that up is because what we're talking about today is billable charges. Okay. So somebody was going through the gym. They posted in the locker room. I went through the whole thing. I still don't understand. Delayed charges. So, so that's why I decided, all right, we're going to go we're going to take care of this. All right. So Mary is saying, so are the modules of every month available to us? Yes. So when you sign up for the gym, you get the whole year. I mean, I don't recommend that you skip around. You could skip around month to month. You can skip around, but they don't build on each other. We specifically did that. Number one, it's all in the sample company. So you can't save your work. So you have to like redo everything. So that's one thing. So they don't build on each other. So yeah, I mean, you could do the months in any order, but I wouldn't necessarily hop around, like do the cardio here and then the strength training over here and whatever, because an entire month does kind of have a theme. So, all right. So anyway, so somebody said they were still confused about this. And so I said, that's a great topic. We have level 2 coming up. So, and that's a level 2. That's, like I said, that's tested on the level 2 exam. So let's talk about it. All right. Here we go. Let's read. Oh, so Joel needs to post the link in the chat. So yeah. So Joel is going to put the link in the chat. The link that's in the chat is for the people who do not have the gym or who have the gym, but it's not unlocked yet. All right, so let's get started with our scenario. All right, so Craig installed a new garden at Red Rock Diner, and the owners asked him to handle the watering. Craig needs to stop by twice per week to water. He may need to do some weeding intermittently. Craig only wants to invoice Red Rock Diner once for these visits at the end of the month. So far, Craig has watered the new garden twice last week. He already did one day this week and plans to stop by again this week as well. Plus, this week he is going to weed. Let's see how to do this. Okay? So let's understand what's happening here, okay? So this is called a delayed charge, okay? So he is going about his work, okay? Craig is going about his work, but he wants to keep track of it, but he doesn't want to invoice the customer just yet. And we don't want that, what he's doing, to affect the books. I mean, he could potentially set up an invoice just keep adding to it and then never send it until it's time to send it. But what would happen there is that all of those charges would keep adding to accounts receivable, but they haven't been invoiced yet. So it's not really accounts receivable. It's a delayed charge. It's just like he's keeping track of, like as if he were using a time app and he were keeping track of time that way, right? So, that's another thing you could do is you could keep track of time and then add it to the bill. Okay. So let's go. I'm going to start my screen share again, which means that I'm going to lose my chat. All right, so let me do that and then that. All right. So let's see how to do this. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is start in the sample company. Now, Intuit provides 3 different sample companies. These exercises are using the accountant version of the sample company, which you can get to inside your QBOA account by clicking the gear icon and then clicking sample company. Or we have recently at Acadian created a quick link. So if you type acadian.com/QBOA, then that will take you directly to the accountant version of the sample company. So either way, we're going to load the sample company. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get started. Because you're recording this now, but sending an invoice later, you'll be using the delayed charges feature. We'll start by setting up the charges for last week's watering. All right. Now, before we get into this exercise, I want to point out that there is on this white tile here a button that says Guide Me. Now, we use a software called Scribe to create our exercises, and Scribe provides a Google extension plugin that looks like this. You go to your Chrome web store, and then you download this extension. It's called Scribe. Okay, it looks like it has this little symbol on it. And when you are using Google Chrome and you have that extension, then the first white box, okay, so notice how, so we've got a green box. This one is just a picture. It doesn't really have instructions, so that's why there isn't a button there. So that's a red box, a green box. Okay, so here's our first white box, okay? Now it says Guide Me. Actually, I don't know why it doesn't show up on the first one, but it doesn't. So here we go, Guide Me. Now, if I have the sample company open, like you saw me do, I have the sample company open, and I have this, and I'm using Google Chrome, and I have this installed, that when I click Guide Me, and then I click Confirm, magic happens! And we have our exercise on the right, and we have our sample company on the left. Just makes it so much easier, so you don't have to fiddle with the different windows or different screens or whatever. It's just on the right, on the same thing. Okay. All right. So this is a delayed charge. Let's create an invoice real quick. And before we actually get into this, let's create an invoice real quick so you can see what I mean about accounts receivable, because some of you are new. So I'm going to create an invoice. This is not part of the exercise. I'm just going to do it. Let's see. There's Red Rock Diner. Let's see. Let's try Pies Cakes. Okay. So I'm going to create an invoice for whatever, custom design, $75. I'm going to hit this black save button. And then when I click more and transaction journal, you can look and see what happens to the books when you do that thing. Okay. So, will the scribe, yes, the scribe extension, thank you, Lindsay. The scribe extension will work in year 2. All right. So, anyway, so here's the transaction journal. So we see that, we are crediting the design income account and we are debiting the accounts receivable account. Now, if you're brand new, you don't know anything about accounting, and you're thinking to yourself, debiting, why am I debiting this account? Didn't you just say you're adding to accounts receivable? Why is it saying debit? Well, that's a whole nother conversation about accountant speak, and we'll probably get into that next week. Because I sometimes do my debits and credits speech, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. But anyway, so you can see this invoice it adds to accounts receivable, and that means that these people owe us money. Okay, who do we just say? Pies, cakes, right? They owe us money, but with a delayed charge, the books are not affected. Actually, let me go show you the, so this accounts receivable that shows up on the balance sheet. So let's go back, let's go to my reports. And I go to the balance sheet. And here's accounts receivable. If I click this, it will show me, make sure the time period's right. Yep. Accounts receivable. This will show me everything that's in accounts receivable. And here is that pies cakes. So $75 was added to accounts receivable. That's not going to happen with a delayed charge. With a delayed charge, we're just going to keep adding, and then later we're going to create the invoice and pull in all of those charges. Can we get a copy of the recording after this Zoom call? Yes, the recording will be posted in the group shortly and under the events section, and then it will be available later on YouTube. Also, make sure and check your email. In the first 30 minutes, I talked about how I just sent an email for the first time to the group using my new Acadian email address. So make sure that you got that. And if you did not get that, email support@acadian.com so we can look into it. Probably, my guess is that went into spam. So please, put it in your inbox and mark it as not spam. Okay, tell the world we're not spam. I don't believe in spam. I know we've been sending out a lot of emails lately, and that bothers me. We're going to change that. But anyway. All right, so let's get to work here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to create these delayed charges, then we're going to add them to the invoice in a separate step. This is just so great because you don't have to remember or keep a pad of paper or whatever. You just add them to the client's account, and then they will just be added to the invoice. Okay, so we're going to click plus new. You'll notice that there is a delayed charge and a delayed credit. Okay, so what we're talking about is delayed charges. Like the scenario said, we're going to accumulate charges as the days go by. I'm going to go, I think it's, what are we doing? Watering, we're taking care of the plants or whatever. And we want to make sure that we keep track of every time that we do that, and then we send an invoice at the end of the month. Okay, so that's a delayed charge. Okay, there is also a delayed credit, which is the opposite of that. So I think somewhere in one of our courses, somebody like complained about something, like we did we did a pest control, but then they complained because the ants were still there or something. So then Craig decided to credit that. And instead of doing a credit memo, we just created a delayed credit so that the next time we run an invoice, it will apply that. Okay, so that's a delayed credit. But what we're talking about today is a delayed charge. Okay, so let's read I've been talking so long. Let's read our scenario again. Craig installed a new garden at Red Rock Diner, and the owners asked him to handle the watering. Craig needs to stop by twice per week to water. He may need to do some weeding intermittently. Craig only wants to invoice Red Rock Diner once for these visits at the end of the month. So far, Craig has watered the new garden twice last week. He already did one day this week and plans to stop by again this week as well. Plus, this week he is going to weed. Let's see how to do all that. Okay, so we did, so it's going to be $25 per visit. In the customer field, select Red Rock Diner. Okay. In the delayed charge date, select last Friday's date. Okay, it's going to be different. We recorded this in December, so it's not going to be the same as the picture. So today is Friday the 28th, so we're saying it is the 21st. Okay. On the first line in the product service field, select gardening. Okay. You could create a separate line for each day, but for this exercise, we'll use one line for both days. Also note, with the dates in the sample company continuously changing based on when you complete the exercise, we're going to use a generic date format. Feel free to add actual dates though, if that is helpful for you to see. Okay, so in the description field after weekly gardening service, okay, right here, we're going to type month, day, year, and month, day, year. Okay, so what would if I wanted to use actual dates, I might want to say, oops, so these are dates last week. So maybe I want to say 03/18, 25, and 03 21, 25. Okay, so for the exercise, we're just saying month, day, but sometimes it's easier to see actual dates so you know what we're talking about. We could do it on two separate lines and have one for each, but for this exercise, we're just going to say there's 2 days here. He said $25 per day. QBO is going to do the math. So when you hit tab or click anywhere outside of the field, it's going to do the math for you. So it's $50. So now we're going to click Save and New. All right, now we're going to do the charge for this week. So those were, remember our scenario, he already went 2 days last week. Okay, so those were the 2 days last week. Now we're going to do this week. Okay, again, I'm going to choose Red Rock Diner. I could have, by the way, instead of doing Save and New, I could have saved it and made a copy of it. But this is fine too. Notice that when I selected the customer, okay, it automatically showed me the last one, okay? That's because of a setting in accountant settings that says, I can't remember what it says exactly, but it says, do you want to have it be the same, okay? And in the sample company, it is, okay? If you take Corey's cleanup course, which you should all take Corey's cleanup course, if you take that course, She's going to teach you how to turn that off because you don't want that setting on while you're doing a cleanup, okay? Because that can really screw you over. Okay. Joel can put the link for the cleanup course in there if you want to find out. So that's why we have have this already there, even though this is a new one. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So we said, okay. The delayed charge date, select the field for this upcoming Friday. It is today. It's going to be today. Okay, is the date. Okay. So he also did $15 this week. We're going to have to take, well, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. This is skipping to the weeding one. So we'll do the second line. Hey, there we go. Weeding. What? Oh, gardening. Sorry. Gardening. And then description type weeding. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. The title of the newsletter was Recertification is Coming. Here's what we know. Oh, yeah. I should talk about recertification today. It's around the corner. I talked about it in the newsletter. I'll answer any questions today if you want. Okay, so the rate is $15. Okay. All right. Now I need to change these dates because I put in actual dates instead of just the month, day. I'm going to put the month, day back. Hopefully you guys can understand like what this is. You would, in real life, you would put in dates. Okay. All right. So we've got 2 dates coming up. Okay. Thank you, Paige. Yep. All right. Let's see. So we're looking. Oh, we forgot to put in. Oh, ha ha ha. Guys, you didn't even catch me. I put in the rate under quantity. Okay. 15 times 0 is 15 times 0 is 0. All right. So we've got quantity, rate. So we've got 15. So we've got our this delayed charge is now $65. Okay. All right. I'm going to notice there is no like save button. Remember how when we did the invoice in the beginning and I was just showing you how it affected accounts receivable and there was a save button and we looked at the transaction journal. Okay. Well, there is no just save button and there is no transaction journal. Why is that? Well, it's because this is a non-posting transaction. We're just holding on to these charges. We're holding on to this money where we haven't yet invoiced them. Okay? All right. So let's see. Let's see where you can find the unbilled charges. Okay, so we're going to go. I'm going to hit save and close. That was in the step 15 or step 15. I didn't do it. Okay. So now we're going to go to sales and all sales. I'm going to close close the pop-ups. I'm going to click this button and close this thing on the left nav bar so you can see the screen better. Oh. Make it a little smaller for you also, or bigger. There we go. What happens if I do this? There we go. Now you can see it's tiny, but you can see the whole thing. All right, so notice up at the top of the sales center. By the way, I should show you this. Let me open this back up. Okay. So this is called, for those of you who are new, this is called the left navigation bar, or sometimes we call it the left nav bar, okay? And when you highlight any of these items, you'll notice there's a little arrow, and these items pop out on the right, this little pop out menu. Okay, so here it says sales. This is going to go to the sales center. And here we have little options, and each of these options represents a tab in that particular center. So here we have sales, overview, all sales, invoices, estimates, etc. Okay, so now we're going to have sales, overview, all sales, invoices, estimates. Okay, so that's how that works. So we're going to go to all sales, and I'm going to close this again. And this right here, this colored thing, is called the money bar. Okay. And the money bar, unfortunately, you can't edit it. You can't make it show just what you want it to show. But it does have some cool things already set up for you. So if you wanted to see how many estimates you had out there, you could. If you wanted to see how much unbilled income you had, which is what we're doing right now, then you could do that. Oh, the colors changed since we took the picture. Look, this is purple now, and it used to be blue. Okay, so we have overdue invoices. You could look up all of those. These are basically just filters for the entire list of sales transactions. Okay, so here we have all transactions, the dates that it wants to. Oh, look at this. This is new. Huh, interesting. All right, guys. So, in case you don't know, I am now a co-host on the unofficial QuickBooks Accountants podcast with Alicia Katz Pollock. She and I do a segment called Look What I Found, which is every month or so. And we're filming today. We are filming today the next episode. And I'm going to put this on our list. This is the first time I've seen these little drop-down boxes with those little errors. That's the first time I've seen that. Anyway, so the point is, getting back to our exercise, is we want to click the unbilled income box. Okay. Lindsay, could you change that? This is step, I can't tell what step it is. Step 17. So it says purple because it says click the blue on. Maybe we don't need blue, the word blue at all, just because if we say purple, we'll have to take a new picture. Okay. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so there's the unbilled income. And here you can see these are the two charges for Red Rock Diner that we just created. Okay. See them there? And then you can also see Video Games by Dan also has charges that are out there that need to be invoiced. And remember I said earlier, you could also do this for time. Amy's Bird Sanctuary has a time charge. Okay, so none of these are called non-posting transactions. None of these are yet actually affecting the books or affecting the client's account at all. It's just for our own record keeping. Okay. So the anyway, so that's where they are. Let's see how to actually invoice them. So yeah, I just talked about that. Okay. So let's go to step 18. Now we're going to actually create an invoice. Now you see that I have the option to create an invoice right here, but I'm not going to do that actually. I'm going to do it a different way. So I'm going to open that back up, and then I'm going to click plus new. And then I'm going to click invoice, and I'm going to type in Red Rock Diner. And as soon as I do that, look what happens. This little drawer pops out, and I have the opportunity to add these. I just realized that there's something else we should do. Video Games by Dan is the one that also has them out there. Okay, so here's where they are. Remember, notice it says charge 1, charge 2. These are the two we just created. Okay. And I can click add all. And boom, everything we just created shows up. Now it's actually on the invoice for us to be able to send the invoice. Okay, let's see, what does it want us to do for the date? Select the last day of the month, 31st. Okay. Let's see. The invoice is ready to send to the customer. It shows the 4 watering visits and the weeding on a single invoice. Normally you might click save and send to email the invoice to the customer, but we're just going to close it because we can't actually send, I don't know if you know this, but you can't actually send invoices from the sample company. Oh, I guess, I don't know I guess you guys are handling whatever's happening in the chat there. Okay. Let's see. So, so we're going to hit save and close. All right. And notice, see, we're on this list here and those two disappeared. So now we're going to go to Red Rock Diner. We're going to click customers right here. And we're going to go to Red Rock Diner. And we can see a history of what just happened. Again, I'm going to close this. Okay. So here's a history of what just happened. Unbilled income did not change. You mean in the money bar? All right, we'll take a look at that. Okay, so here is here are the 2 charges, and here is the invoice, okay, that just went out. So notice it says converted. That means that those are no longer outstanding charges. They've actually been converted. They've actually been put on an invoice. Now, let me show again, because I'm extra and because this confused me for so long, this confused me. I'm going to show you a couple other things. Okay. So this up here for Red Rock Diner, this shows how much they have open. This is their open balance. Okay. This is how much Red Rock Diner currently owes to Craig. Okay. And of that, 156 is overdue. Okay. So now if you go and you look at this down here, look at that number is 526. I'm going to close this one too. So we've got even more room to look at this. Okay. This confused the heck out of me for years. Okay. So look, it says 500, where that, like, why is this 526 and this is 341 and 156? Okay. So, and this is not the total of these. The total of these is what? $497. And this is $526. Does anyone else's overdue payment say $226? I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know where. Let's see. Here's these are my 2 charges, $50 and $65. Did you guys forget the second weekly gardening? Because this one, are you showing 2 charges, one for $50 and one for $65? Oh, the charges are, oh, it's just the overdue payment that's different. Huh. 200 and, what is you guys is 226? Yeah, I don't know what that is. All right, but let me get back to this number down here, because this always, like, I was like, why does this number not match these numbers up here? And here's what I finally figured out. This number is the total of these. Oops, Didn't mean to click that. Okay. This number is the total of these. And these are just the numbers on that particular transaction. So this transaction was $65. This transaction was $50. This transaction was $115. This is not reflective of their balance. It's not reflective of accounts receivable. This amount column is simply the amount of that particular transaction. And for some reason, QBO totals it down at the bottom, but we don't care about that total. We care about the balance. So we can actually change that. So we can go to this gear icon and we can add the balance, and we could, where'd it go? Maybe I can't remove the amount. I guess I can't remove the amount. I can only add I thought we could add the balance. Okay. And now notice what happens. Now it's 341, which matches 341 up here. And look what zeroed out. When we were looking at amounts, one of them was an estimate. This estimate, that's not a posting transaction. That's just like a thing to hold it out. Same is true with the delayed charges. They're just like, they're just placeholders. They're not actually affecting the books. So when you look at the customer balance, those are zeroed out. And then what's left is the actual balances for the customer. All right, everyone's distracted because some of you have different numbers. Looks like my $70 was not converted. I have two. Margie's invoice 1023 is due today. Ours is already overdue. Oh, interesting. Don't you love the sample company? Oh my gosh, guys. All right. We're going to do one more thing before we talk about our marketing prompts. Okay. Stacy says, what is the benefit of using delayed charge rather than just entering an invoice and emailing it later? When it becomes an invoice, it is added to accounts receivable. So the clock actually starts ticking for them when it's saved in the system, not when you send it out. Now you could change the dates, but any reports that you run, like if somebody says, how much do our customers owe us? Then the reports are not going to match. So that's why. The other cool thing is, and this is more advanced, but the other cool thing is you can actually set up a recurring transaction and have it include the delayed charges. So you don't actually have to send the email at all. All you have to do is just add the charges, and then at whatever frequency that recurring invoice is, it will just send it out and will scoop up all of the outstanding delayed charges and send it off, which is super cool. All right. Okay. So one more thing I want to show you before we get into marketing. All right. And that is, let me go back to here and I'm going to click create a new invoice. Now, remember, we saw that Video Games by Dan also has he also has delayed charges. Okay. Let's take a look at how we do this in the new updated invoice layout. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, oh gosh, how long have they been working on this? I don't know, but Intuit recently totally revamped the invoicing experience. And the sample company by default has the old experience as when you first create an invoice. Which, if you have a client who has been using Intuit or has been using QBO for some time, they're going to have the old invoice layout unless you turn it on. Okay. Any new clients, oh wait, is that true? I may have just lied. I may have just lied because mine automatically switched over to the new one and I didn't do anything. So anyway, so some people like might be having the new layout, and you can access the new layout by clicking update layout right here. Okay, so let's see how we do a delayed charge in the modern layout instead of the old way. Okay, so I'm going to click update layout. I'm going to update the layout. Any unsaved changes will be lost, which is fine because I haven't made any. I'm going to go ahead and close this exercise because we're no longer doing the exercise. Okay. And here's the new invoicing layout. Okay. You can take a tour. You can just go to the invoice. Okay. You can see one of the benefits of the new modern layout is that you see as the changes that you're making, as you make changes, the uh, you actually get to view it in the way that your customer will view the invoice. So that's kind of like a nice, see how it says you have this email view, payer view, PDF view. It's it's so much simpler than it is on the old style. Okay, so first thing, you could autofill this invoice if you wanted to with this, notice it says beta, it's this AI assistant. I'm going to close that. Okay, so here we have, it shows us right at the top, this is what it's going to look like. If I had a logo that came in, the logo would be here. I could edit my company information right here, and I can select a customer. And we said video games by Dan. He's got some charges out there. Okay. All right. So one of the cool things about the modern invoice is that you can edit the customer. So like if the customer has an updated address or email address, like my updated email address, then if that's updated, you can actually edit it right here in the invoice and it will reflect in the customer database. So that's a kind of a cool thing. But you can see it's the same, it just looks different. And here a drawer popped up just like we saw with Red Rock Diner, okay? And here's my add all button. Oh, I don't know about this. I assume that I can filter the if I have a ton, I can filter them there if I want to, but I'm just going to click add. I can go right to the charge itself, which I couldn't do in the old layout. It just was there. I would have had to exit out and go to it. So, so I'm going to go ahead and add all. And there they are, the two. Interesting. Oh, I was looking for the Red Rock Diner charges, but that's not what they were. So I'm like, why is this different? Anyway, okay. So that's what it looks. So then you can review and send, or you can save and close right here. Okay, so that's how it looks if it's the modern view. All right, let's see. Oh, Chris, yeah, that's a great question. So Chris says, if I wanted to always have the balance column shown on every invoice, would I go into settings and set this as a default? Yes. You would go to the gear icon and then custom form styles. And in here, you would want to, I think it's under content. No. Here. Okay, so I selected content and then I selected this middle one. And then right here, if you want the account summary to show on the invoice, you click show invoice, and then they'll have the balance forward. I do not know why that is not a default. I don't know why everyone doesn't start with that, but that's how you do it. And then, yeah, so you would hit done. Okay. And there is, by the way, one of the issues of the gym, I can't remember which one it is, but one of them is it's all dedicated to different customizations that you can do, that include like adding logos and changing styles and changing like layouts on the screen, and like everything is about customization. All right. So let's talk now about, I'm going to stop my screen share for a second. Now let's talk about marketing, because one of the things that comes with the QBO Gym is marketing prompts. There we go. And the reason that, so when you're in the gym, as you learn different things, so as I mentioned, like February, which you can do in the challenge, is dedicated to estimates. And as you learn that skill, then you earn marketing prompts, earn like prompts of like what to say on social media about what you just learned. The reason we built this into the gym is because is because I just kept hearing people say, "Oh, I know I'm supposed to post on social media, but I don't know what to say." And I thought, how do you not know what to say? Like, you're learning something all the time. All the time you are learning. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put these marketing prompts. So in the gym, you actually, as you do things, you earn them. But in the exercise of the week, we just give you one prompt for every exercise. All right. So, oh, thank you, June. November is all about customization. Okay. All right, let's see. I have to share my screen again and share. I have to turn on my chat again. Okay. All right, so here is the exercise. Here's the marketing prompt for today. Okay, so you learned about delayed charges. Here's a sample QBO, but we like to call them QBO tips. So Joel posted in the chat the 3-2-1 video. We teach a method called, we're not a marketing company, but we do teach a method called the 3-2-1 video, or called the 3-2-1 method, in which we want you to twice per week be posting something valuable like a QBO quick tip. So today's QBO quick tip is: forget to bill a customer for time, materials, and add-ons. With delayed charges in QuickBooks, you can track those extras now and invoice later, so nothing slips through the cracks. Want help making sure nothing gets missed? I've got your back. Now, for the last couple of weeks, here's my little secret. I have been, now all of the marketing prompts that are in the gym, I wrote myself. And for the last year of exercise of the week, I've been writing them myself. But a few weeks ago, I don't know, maybe it's a couple months now, earlier this year, I said, I wonder what ChatGPT would do. And so I gave ChatGPT the exercise, and I gave it a couple samples of QBO quick tips from before. And I said, write me a new one. And it's doing a really great job. And this one today, I don't always use the one that ChatGPT comes up with, but today I did. This came from ChatGPT. I gave it the exercise, and it knows the format. So I actually share the ChatGPT prompt. I shared the ChatGPT, and actually I think that I forgot to upload it today, or save it today. That's from last week. But I will, as soon as I'm done with this, I'll go click the button. So I have to click the button to share it with everybody from today. So I'll click so you can see this conversation that I'm having with ChatGPT about generating the marketing prompts, your QBO quick tips. Now, if you would like help in actually using these tips, If you would like our support, like Joel gave you the link for the 3-2-1 video, but if you would like the complete course that includes how to set up your LinkedIn, how to use Calendly, how to use Canva, so that you'll create like your own little logo. You'll create like a format for your QBO quick tips that you can post a couple times a week. You'll learn how to do all of that. Plus, you have group support that in actually getting clients. Then we have a cohort that we run every month. I think, Lindsay, you'll have to tell me. I think April is closed at this point, but you can register for the May cohort. Yeah, April is closed. So, but you can register for the May cohort, and the May cohort is going to be huge because a lot of people, if you were on the cleanup webinar that we did a couple weeks ago and you bought cleanup on the webinar, you got the May cohort for free. But what we do in the cohort is not only the education, like I just like I just told you, you're going to learn how to grow your network, strengthen connections, demonstrate your expertise. We don't teach you how to do a diagnostic review, but the goal is for you to do a diagnostic review by the end of the month. Um, and one of the benefits of the cohort is you're doing it in a group with group support and accountability. And there's a whole mindset piece, which is really where the magic is. It's helping you if posting something on social media about your business causes your heart to just kind of like explode, and you feel like oh my gosh, I can't do I can't do it, then you need to be in the cohort, because that's what we do, is like we help you calm that down, inch by inch, step you out of your comfort zone so that you can get more comfortable actually promoting yourself. That's what the cohort's all about. And you do it in a group setting with support from everybody to be able to do that. Okay. So Joel will put the link to the cohort in the group in the chat. Thank you, Joel. But that is for May. But that'll give you time. Like you do have to, in order to use the cohort or to be in the cohort, you have to be level 1 certified. So if you're not level 1 certified, that gives you time to be level 1 certified. Also, if you want some experience under your belt before you actually go out and try and start getting clients, then you can use the time between now and when the cohort starts to like work through the gym. As I said, the gym is only 42 real-time hours. So you can have a year's worth of experience this time next month. Like no problem. The other thing that could help you, why don't I ever have this? I need to add this to our list too. I need to have our study hall up to show you. But the other thing that can help you is, oh, thanks, Jane. Jane says the cohort is great and absolutely helps with social media and building a community of other bookkeepers. Oh, Stephanie says, I highly recommend the cohort. I've gotten so much from the group I was with, and my imposter syndrome has decreased, making it much easier to talk with people about what I do. That's so awesome. So the other thing that might be beneficial for you is our study hall. So 10 times every week, we host an Acadian study hall for those people. How many times have you like bought a course or said you were going to do something and you just never did it? The course sat on the shelf, or you canceled on yourself because it's so easy to cancel on yourself, less easy to cancel with other people. And so if you really want to hold your feet to the fire and actually get stuff done, then that's why we have the study hall. So so Joel put the link in there. And yes, Lindsay Key is the best. She's the host of the study hall. And the way the study hall works is that you show up, like whatever, there's up to, you can come to all 10 in a week if you want to. Or you can come to whichever ones, and you show up, you greet everybody, say hi, you set your intentions for the day, for this session. Everyone goes off camera, and then you do your work, and then you get back together, and everybody celebrates each other, and ask questions if they're necessary, but like everyone celebrates, woohoo, like we just got this, got this much done. So there is a nominal fee for the study hall. Some of our programs include the study hall. If you're not in any of our paid programs, then yes, there's a nominal fee. Joel posted the link. We have to pay for Lindsay's time. Is there a special offer for the study hall? No. I mean, it includes um, uh, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Some of our courses came with study hall. So for example, the bookkeeping fast track, which is not QBO focused. We use QBO to demonstrate the principles, but it's really bookkeeping focused, which is like teaching you at a super deep and comprehensive level, all about bookkeeping and how to do it right, and how to do it in a way that the accountants that you work with, that you pass the information over to, love you, and you become their best friend. And the idea behind it is that you become so good that they don't want to work with anybody else. That is our actual genuine goal for Acadian, is that our courses are so good that people don't want to work with anyone else, because you guys are head and shoulders above everyone. So anyway, all right. Yes. Yes, Mary, it depends on which programs you're in, but yeah, it should be in your, yeah. Um, yeah. So Mary, just email support@acadian.com and we'll see which courses. If you're in a course that is like fast track, for sure, get study hall. And if you bought the cleanup course on the special that we had, not yes, was it just last week? Yeah, last week we did a special webinar, and if you bought the cleanup course on that webinar, then you get, I don't know, I think it was 2 months of study hall for free. Let's see. Leslie says, I have a couple paid courses, so it depends. The study hall currently does not come with, doesn't automatically come with the gym or the certification courses. You would have to sign up for those separately. And it doesn't normally come with the cleanup course, but just for the live webinar we did, I think we gave away 2 months free of the study hall. Cleanup is, I don't know if that was the question, but but it seems to be a question now. And no, cleanup is absolutely not for beginners. Cleanup is an advanced course. Corey goes very fast, and she expects you to know a lot of things. The beautiful thing about the cleanup is that she teaches you, well, we talked about this on the webinar. You can still watch the webinar for like 12 more hours. So if you want to hop on that, again, the link was in the newsletter. The thing about the cleanup is that she teaches you how to know what you're getting into when you look at the books. Okay, so that's the first thing. So the first thing is to avoid scope creep. You can know, like, she teaches you how to look at a messy set of books, not only diagnose it, but then figure out what it's going to take for you to clean it up. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is she teaches you how to communicate to the business owner. And this was actually a mind-blowing thing for me. When before we even went live and I was reviewing the materials for the webinar, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. If you are quoting jobs, whether that's cleanup or bookkeeping or whatever, if you are quoting jobs and you are getting pushback, the business owner is saying that's way too expensive, it's because you're not communicating your value correctly. It's because you are not connecting. I'm sure of it, is that you're using accounting and bookkeeping speak. And we role played that a little bit on the call. Is that what you say and what the business owner hears are two different things. And so anyway, so she teaches you how to communicate your value to the business owner so that they see the value of it and sign up. So even like tens of thousands of dollars of cleanup. This is another thing that, like, so many of you don't understand. Like, we have been saying that the average cleanup is $6,000. And you guys look at that and like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. A business is not going to pay that. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. I have paid so much more than that for, if I have a need. I mean, I have written $15,000, $30,000 checks. Just last week, I wrote a $35,000 check to somebody because I need in our business, I need that particular service. And, like, this is like, we need to help you guys get over like the pricing of things and understanding that when the business owner is hurting and needs you, they are going to pay it anyway. So that's the second thing about cleanup, is learning how to talk to the business owner. And then the third thing about cleanup that makes Corey's methodology so special is how systematic it is. How she has a very so you're not just like whack-a-mole trying to fix this thing and that thing, but she goes through a very specific order and systematic order of what to clean up next, what to clean up next, what to clean up next, so that you don't end up going back and fixing work that you've already done before, or undoing something and then having that's one of the reasons why cleanup jobs a lot of times take so much longer than they really should. So that's really the beauty of the cleanup course, but it is not for beginners. Like, you have to know what she's talking about. So if you are an absolute beginner, that's what Bookkeeping Fast Track is for. It is the foundation course. In fact, we've split it up into Bookkeeping Fast Track Foundations and then Bookkeeping Fast Track Plus. And Bookkeeping Fast Track Foundations is really like, that's the groundwork. That's like, now you have to understand what good looks like. You have to understand why we do things a certain way. You have to understand how everything is connected to everything else. Okay. So that's, if you're brand new, Bookkeeping Fast Track, and that will set you up for now in Fast Track, you now know this is what good looks like. And then you can now apply that when you go take the cleanup course. You can go, oh, that's not what it's supposed to look like. How do I clean that up? That's how it all fits together. Okay, let me get back to the chat. Lindsay asked, currently right now, or Lindsay answered, thank you, Lindsay. Currently right now, I mean, there has never been a recertification for payroll. They could change it at any time. Maybe this year is the year. I don't know. I don't know. But historically, it's only been level 1, level 2 that you have to recertify. Uyi says, in the cleanup community group, Stephanie did such a great job in her diagnostic presentation to the client on how to communicate. I watch it all the time. That's the thing, guys. This is the thing about Acadian. We are all about the doing. We are all about the hands-on action, taking action and doing. So in the cleanup course, you get to do a diagnostic review and you post your findings so that other people can watch it. So, wow. I don't know. Is Stephanie on this call? Does Stephanie know that you do that? That's amazing. All right, let's see. So, Leslie, yes, that you don't have to be finished with Fast Track in order to buy cleanup, because you can buy cleanup at this real, I mean, honestly, this price, I didn't find out until later that Corey was offering the course at this price. It's worth, I mean, we sell it for double this price, double the price. But anyway, she decided she wanted to have this super duper sale. And so you can buy it at the at the deep discount and then work on it later. You don't have to, you don't have to finish your fast track first before buying it. Okay, let's see. Maybe that's what you all said. Yeah, that's what everyone said. Okay. Deirdre says, I used AI to make an analogy for my cleanup quote to compare the importance of proper bookkeeping to computer IT for a computer guy to help explain. Oh my gosh, Deirdre, what a great idea. Oh my gosh, I'm going to share that with Corey. That is amazing. How to share with computer IT guy. Or definitely, and also if you haven't already, post that in the cleanup forum so people, what a great tip. Oh my gosh. Okay. Christina says, Margie, will the getting clients cohort help me if I'm keeping my full-time job and just looking for clients as a side hustle? I'm not necessarily going to eventually quit my full-time job for bookkeeping. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's it's I mean, we do teach specifically LinkedIn. Okay? So I will say that much. So if you have a full-time job and your full-time job is, you have to be that on LinkedIn, then we recommend you have two LinkedIn accounts. Which LinkedIn frowns on. You can only have one that is one verified account. But you know what, guys? I don't have a verified account on LinkedIn, and I will tell you why. Because you know me as Margie Remmers-Davis. That's what I'm known as to the world. But legally, my name is Marjorie, not Margie, and my last name is Remmers, not Davis or Remmers-Davis. So my ID, my passport, like all of the stuff that they want to verify with me doesn't have the same name, and they're not smart enough to recognize that Margie is a nickname. So I don't know, like if your name is Robert and you go by Bobby, you can't have your LinkedIn page say Bobby. Like I don't get that. Okay. Let's see. Um, yeah, I mean, Christina, really the thing is that you have to tell people that you're a bookkeeper. That's really all it comes down to, guys. Like, if you want to be a bookkeeper and you want to get bookkeeping clients, you have to constantly tell people you are a bookkeeper. That's really all it is. How many real estate agents do you know? You know who the real estate agents are in your life because they constantly tell you they are real estate agents, right? Even though you're not in business, you have no desire to buy or sell a house, right? Like like they are still going to constantly tell you they are a real estate agent because that's how they do it, right? So yeah, all right. So Lindsay, the cleanup question was just about being the course for beginners. Okay. schedule. Oh, great. Thank you, Joel. So if you are wondering, like Acadian has grown so much and we have so many courses available and you want to find, you're not sure like what's right for you at any given time, and you would like to have a one-on-one conversation with our team about your situation so we can point you in the right direction of what is and is not going to be good for you, then you can schedule time with Anthony Birch. This is not the same guy. I know some of you deal with a different Anthony Morris. We have two Anthonys on our team, and it can be confusing for all of us. So he's not the same guy that answers your support questions when you write in. Um, but Anthony Birch, you can have a conversation with him about like where you are in your life and in your business and what's good for you and all of that stuff. And Joel has put that in the chat also. Also the link for the fast track. Let's see. Dinesh says not verified for the same reason as me. Uyi doesn't have the same, is like, yeah, I don't know. I actually wrote to Clear. Clear is the company that manages the verification for LinkedIn. I wrote to both LinkedIn and Clear and I said, I cannot be the only person that has this problem. Like, I am not the only person that has a nickname, you know, Bob, Bobby, Rob, Robbie, you know, Richard, Dick, like Rich, Richie, you know, like, and I am not the only female who got married and didn't legally change her name. So like, it's crazy. I don't know. All right, let's see. We feel the same confusion in study hall. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's names or, oh, maybe just like first names. I don't know. Yeah, Sandy. Yeah. All right. Oh, names. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think that I have, hopefully I have answered everybody's question and we're all good to go. So, I hope this has been helpful, especially for those of you studying for the level 2 exam. I don't know who it was who asked, you know, who said that they were still confused about delayed charges, but hopefully hopefully we got that cleared up. We talked about delayed charges. We talked about delayed credits. We didn't show it, but we did talk about delayed credits. We talked briefly about delayed time charges, and you saw that that Amy out there, if you want to see like what that looks like. And of course, all of that stuff is in the gym. And what did we, I can't remember what we said, which issue it is, but where you go and you actually get to practice all that. Another type of delayed charge is a billing. Shoot, what's it called? Billing. It escaped me all of a sudden. It's like a billable expense. So if you buy something on behalf of your customer and you just want to be reimbursed for the customer later, one of my first clients, for example, would travel, and so she would buy her plane ticket and then be reimbursed by the, you know, whoever was hiring her to come, you know, speak or whatever. And so we set that up as a billable expense to, you know, to then add on to the invoice. So that's like another thing that will show up in that drawer. So if you ever wonder like what's in that drawer on the right hand side, those are the types of things that are in there. All right, so let's see. Daria, excellent. I'm so glad that you found this amazing. I'm so sad. Like, this is the thing about our other, before we were on Zoom, is I could actually show the chats on, like I could just click it and it would show up on Zoom. So you could read the thing also, especially like everybody who's watching on YouTube. You know, you guys don't get to see the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, come join us in the locker room, because that's where all the fun is. Yeah, so recertification. So recertification is uh who knows? Like, like the season is supposed to be April 1st through June 30th, but I have seen them not release it until mid-May. I don't know. You just never know with Intuit. You just have to wait and see. You just have to wait and see when it's going to show up. But it's around now, which is why I'm starting to talk about it, which is why it was in the newsletter. In the next newsletter will be in April. So, oh, why did I get blurry all of a sudden? The next newsletter will be in April, so maybe it will be out by then. So, I don't know. All right, let's see. Uyi, if you actually know, I mean, I canceled my subscription to Ecamm because I couldn't use it anymore, but if you think that I can do it that way, then let me know. All right. Oh, Stephanie, you are on the call. Did you see that Uyi said that she watches your diagnostic review video over and over? How amazing she thinks you are. All right. All right, guys, this is it. This is it. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you on Monday for This Week at Acadian. I'm trying to do those every Monday at 9 so you guys know what's happening, what's going on. And, oh, I got it correct. Excellent. All right. You guys have a great weekend. I can't wait to hear your success story. Woo!